Here we go. Another friendly tutorial with Photoshop to make GIFs. All right, so let's go to New File. Actually, you know what? Let's not do that. Let's go to Open. And I want you to choose the cat head PNG. If you haven't removed the background from the JPEG, please remove the background. I did that in the earlier tutorial. Anyway, it's very easy. It's like right here. But anyway, so this is a PNG. It has transparency behind it. Okay, very good. So let's make a little animation out of this. And this does, we're going to do the video timeline, and it does the tweening for us. Like you saw the tweening that we did with the step-by-step animation. Let's go to Window, Timeline. Let's open it. So instead of create frame by frame, we're going to go to the video timeline, create, and there we have a layer there, but it's not a video layer, but you know what, I think it's okay for now. Let's also make this pretty short. So right now it is about 5 seconds long. Let's go to 4, okay? Let's click on it and let's go to this little sandwich thing, click. And let's go to Move and Trim. Let's move the end to the playhead. Hopefully you can see that. And you'll see it moves the end of the timeline to the playhead. All right, so I'm gonna rename this layer. You just double click on the text itself, cat, rotate. Okay, so now if I click on this little arrow, that means that there's more underneath it. It's a little twirl. You see we could change the position. We could keyframe the position here. I'm going to just click there just so you can see, right? I'm going to move forward in the timeline, and I'm going to move the cat. It'll give us another position. Hit return. If we press play, which is this little button, it moves. Woohoo! Okay, but that's actually not what we want. We want to rotate, and let's undo that. Now if I move forward and I rotate it, oops, let's go to rotate. I'm going to go to the edges here and just rotate a little more, hit return. It does not give me a new keyframe, and it does not record that motion. Okay, so let's stop. Let's get rid of that. Let's just take this cat rotate. Let's right mouse click over the area to the right of the text, right mouse click, and go to Convert to Smart Object. So what that'll do is it'll give us some more options for our animation. Okay, Convert to Smart Object. And then if I open the little twirl down, I see that Transform is, instead of Position, is available. So I'm going to start at my beginning. So with keyframes, with tweening, you go to the wherever you want the motion to start on your timeline. Here, I'm just going to do it from the beginning. I'm going to press the little clock. I know it's a stopwatch right there next to Transform. Click, and it gives me the first keyframe. I'm going to go to the end, and I'm going to rotate the kitty, maybe just like that. Hit return. You can do it in a different way if you wish. And now if I press for play, you see it recorded the rotation. Okay, we're going to just do kind of dirty animation here, nothing special. All right, so say you wanted it to go back to you wanted to move the keyframe. Let's go to like frame 2-ish, and let's select this last keyframe and move it forward. Okay, and now it rotates and then it stops. Okay, but what if we want it to rotate back to its original position? An easy way to do that, it's actually not that easy because Photoshop is not really meant for keyframing, really. It's more better in After Effects, but we'll use it just for now for simplicity. I'm going to click on this little diamond here, so please try to remember that. What that does is it creates a new keyframe right here, okay, without transforming. So click, it creates that new keyframe, and now this is a little tricky, and again, this is because of the limitations. Right mouse click, copy, and then go to this one, click, oops, you can move it however you wish, and right mouse click and paste. And what it does there is it pastes the transformation parameters from the first keyframe to the last. Okay, let's just do it like this. Let's save our project. I'll go up to save. I'm going to call it cat head rotate. And make sure you save it somewhere that in a folder that you like. And just so you know, in my situation, I have a folder on my desktop that I made for this. Okay, so now we have that. Let's go ahead and export this as a, so you can see that the video layer did the twinning for us. That's nice. Because, you know, in-betweens used to have to be done. Like in the olden days, there were usually the lead animators would do the keyframes, and then the sub-animators, the assistants, would do the in-betweens. Okay, File, Export, and let's go to, let's do a video actually, because we're going to bring it in as a video layer. All right, Render Video, and let's select the folder, and I'll put mine here. I don't think I have, do I have anything named that yet? Render, okay, it's gonna render it, might take a second. All right, it's really short, so it's not very long. I'm gonna look in my folder, cat anim, and I'm gonna look for my, I'm gonna say date modified, click, and I'll see that I have a new MP4 that does that. Okay, it has a black background, which I don't necessarily like, so let's go back in there and fix that, overwrite it, okay? Because it's going to be a video, it's not going to have a transparent background. There is a way to do that, actually, but for now, we'll give it a color background, okay? So let's create a new layer, but let's click on this little icon, this little circle with a half white, half black there. And let's go to solid color. And you can pick a color. Maybe I'll go with a pink-ish, maybe a lighter pink, and like that. Okay, and you see that it's above that, above the layer, so let's move it below. There we go. But we also just want this to not, we don't want it to keep playing after the cat stops. So what we do again is we just go to, let's go to that frame there, click on here, on the color fill, go to the little sandwich here, okay, these little lines. It gives a flyout menu, and let's go to Move and Trim, Move End to Playhead. Okay, so now if we move through, I'm using my little arrows, and if you're not able to use your arrows, go back to this little menu and go to Enable Timeline Shortcuts. I'm going to turn mine off, and then I realize I cannot move with my arrow keys on my keyboard. I have to use the playhead here. So if you want to be able to use your arrow keys to move through the frames, go up here, enable timeline shortcuts, and then you can move that, and that's kind of nice. Okay, so let's overwrite what we did before. Let's go up to File, Export, and let's go back down to Render Video. There is a way to, you can always do still frames, and that way you would get a sequence with an alpha channel. You can also choose a different file format, but let's just say, let's just keep it as it is. Let's render it. It's going to say, do I replace? Yes, I'm going to replace what I had before, and it's very quick, usually cat animation. Let's see. Now we have a pink background. Okay, and it rotates around. All right, so let's open a new, let's go back to Photoshop and open Photoshop again. Let's open a new file. Let's go to new, and it'll give us this menu. And I'm going to go to Web, and I'm going to choose Web Large, like we did with the bouncy head. Create, and I see now that my artboard has a white background, and I don't want that. So click on your artboard, go to Properties right here. If you don't see that, you can go to Windows and choose Properties. It'll fly out, okay? And then instead, this is my artboard. Instead of white, I want transparent, and then close that little thing there. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a video timeline. Make sure you have Windows timeline selected, okay? Create video timeline, and I'm gonna have you, you can twirl that open if you wish. You can see the opacities there, that's nice. Let's go up to Layer. So hopefully you can find that, it's at the top right here between Image and Type, Layer. And look down for Video Layer. Okay, and we're going to choose New Video Layer from File. Okay, and we're going to import that cat animation we just made. And then let's find it. It's the MP4, open. And now you'll see we have this nice little square here, okay? And it animates nicely. But what if we want it to stop right there? Again, let's, I'm using my timeline shortcuts. Let's choose let's put our playhead there, choose this little sandwich here and move and trim. And let's see if that worked. Yeah, that was fine. Oh, you know what? I did the wrong one. Click layer 1 and let's move 1 keyframe ahead, move and trim. And okay, so now the whole thing, the whole play is 4 seconds, like we have with the other version of it. Let's play around with this. Let's scale it down. I'm going to press Command T. You can also, we have to convert it to a smart layer. Okay, so let's see if we can do that now. Let's see if we can. Okay, so is it a smart layer now? Let's convert to smart object, and now let's rotate it, okay? And I'm going to rotate it, let's see, return, let's open up our little thing here. Let's go to transform. Actually, you know what, before we make keyframes, let's just make it smaller. Let's make it 50% smaller, make sure this is clicked so it does both of them, okay? And return, and let's put that one on the upper right. Okay, and we see that she still rotates. We didn't lose our animation. That's nice. Now let's duplicate that layer. I'm just going to get rid of that layer because we don't need it. Let's duplicate and go to the area right to the left. I'm going to change the name, cat rot. Okay, I'm going to right mouse click here, duplicate layer. Okay, if you want, you can change that to number 2, but we'll just go down and dirty here. I'm going to move her down 1, and then let's just make sure she still rotates. Okay, she's still rotating. Let's select both of them, right mouse click, duplicate layers. Okay, and then let's move these down. We'll just have, I'm going to do this sort of sloppily. All right, let's just make sure they're still rotating, very good. And then let's just create a pattern there. Duplicate layers. Okay, and just keep doing that until you fill the screen. Just a few more. Oops. Shift, select, duplicate layers. Okay, plenty, right? We probably have more than we need. Like, in fact, we could probably get rid of some of those, but you know, for the most part, though, let's make sure these are, you know what, we could get rid of those. Okay, let's select all of them and let's make a folder for them. You can either do that by dragging it over the folder image there, or you can right mouse click and create a new group. Cats. And then if you twirl that up, oops, that did not work the way I wanted it. Let's put it in a new, why am I not seeing that? Well, just drag it onto the new folder thing, or you could create a new folder and drag them into there. Okay, so we can call that cat wrote background. Okay, and now we have a nice little something we can use. You can see it's not playing real time because it was calculating for me. You can clean up yours and make it look a little better. But let's just export that. Let's export it. You can either export it as a GIF. You're welcome to do that. You can just go up to export and export for web and you do it as a GIF. I'm going to cancel. I'm going to export mine as a video because I want to use it as a background for another thing that I'm doing. Mine is thinking, and hopefully it'll stop thinking in a minute here. All right, so it finally finished what it was doing. I do have a GIF there, I believe. I'm going to save this as cat rot. I'm going to make sure I'm on cat enum, and then I'm going to go up to File, Export, and I'm going to export it as a video. Cat rot pattern. The make a distinction there. Render might take a minute. And once you do, you're going to have that video, which you could bring in as a video layer. You might be able to do that with the GIF too. I'm not entirely sure, but you can test that out. But I know you can bring in this as a video layer. Okay, that's it.